Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my Sims 4 Covenant Legacy Challenge. My name is Ronald the Simmer, and this is episode 12, season 2. So, currently, guys, we are here with Queen Arwen and, of course, Our Lady Regent as they are mourning the loss of our sadly now angel now dead angel, Raylan Madaro, the one of the Queen's guards to Queen Arwen. She has sadly passed away. She's no longer with us. The court is mourning the loss of her because she did not have any family. Her direct family would be her court. The angels here. Most of the angels are still at war, so they are not in the castle currently. Technically, they are, but they are still off at war, fighting for their queen. But Arwen, but I never noticed that this was like the way the urns look for the fairies. This is so cool. But yes, she has officially passed away, guys. She is no longer with us. She died at the hands of Lady Marcella, and the court is very much in shambles right now after the last battle has been won by Queen Moira. They've also found out news has been swarming the Queendom of Sirius right now that Moira, the pretender, is pregnant with Czar's child, which is definitely making the angels turn their heads. And of course, the ladies here, they're wondering how in the hell is this possible? The pretender queen, the woman that's trying to get rid of us, is having a child with one of us. Like, because from the time that Moira escaped, the angels believed that Moira wanted to execute them, which could have been true at the time. But they absolutely believed that they wanted to be executed, that they were supposed to be executed by Moira. But, of course, that was an exaggerated lie told by Nadine to try to win them over to her side. And now they're finding out that Moira is pregnant and has made Czar, their brother, in name, has made him her concubine. She's conceived a child with him. He's going to be having a kid soon. And now one of their fellow sisters have died at the hands of Marcella. They are very much worried. The whole court is. Nadine, I feel like her heart is beating out her chest right now because if they do not win a battle today, they are kind of screwed because they're going to be tied. And they are winning the war so far, but sooner or later, if they don't win it tonight, then there's a high possibility they might lose the war. So, hi Lady Nadine here, guys. She's mourning. She's gotten the whole court here because, of course, Raylan Madara did not have any family. As sad as it is, she came in this world with fairies, but her family, they're all at war right now. They're not all together. The only two people that are here are so sorry. The only two people that are here are Persephone and Freya. And they aren't even her. Technically, they are her blood because they were all created by Deianira using Deianira's blood. So technically, they are all they're not related, but they're related through magic. If you get what I'm saying. So the angels are her family, but they are all separated right now. They are all at war, and the only two people that are at court right now are Persephone and Freya. So Nadine wants to essentially, guys, she's in fear right now. And something that I've realized, guys, while playing my own game with the wars and everything, I do believe that every time we have a war, somebody has to go off into battle because that's how most wars were won. They always had a commander that was at the head of the armies. So, for example, if there is a battle, every time there is a battle, we're going to send a person off into battle to help with the war because I feel like that makes sense. Somebody to help guide the armies if they are going off into fighting. Marcella was guiding most of Queen Marcella. Marcella was guiding most of Queen Moira's armies. She's taking a little break. She stepped back, but it does make sense to send somebody off at war, which I'm going to probably I'm editing in the rules as I go on because I'm still tweaking things. It's only the second generation, technically the third now. It's only the second season, and there's still things to be tweaked. So A lot of her angels right now are guarding particular castles and stuff like that because a lot of them are under siege due to winning wars. But I feel like Nadine would rile up, not in a bad way, but she would rile up Lady Persephone, not Persephone, Lady Freya here, and she would tell Freya that essentially we need a commander at battle. You are one of our high ladies here. Oh, she's not a high lady. She's more of a mistress, and she's a part of the Queen's Guard and now a part of the council. But as a Queen's Guard, she must do her duties, and she needs to go to war to help Arwen win this battle. I feel like she's saying this speech while at the funeral here, letting everyone know that we need somebody to help command our armies, to help lead Arwen's name into battle. Um, and so she's going to go ahead and send off Freya Sycamore here. Hopefully Freya does survive the battle because I literally do not want to lose any more of our fairies, our angels, because they are very, very useful. Raylan here, Val Madaro, I just love her last name. It would have been perfect if she was able to carry on her bloodline, but I am forced to. I am forced, of course, by my own rules. She's died in battle, so she has to pass away. And might reuse her last name because it's a very beautiful name, and she was a very beautiful sim. And I'm so upset that she has passed away, but it is the way things has gone. In her engraved here it says Raylan, Angel of Gaia, and Queen's Guard to Queen Arwen. Now, if Queen Arwen does lose this war, she's gonna be known as the Pretender Queen Arwen or Princess Arwen. We're just gonna. I'm about to see when it gets there, but Queen. I might as well call her Queen, but High Lady Nadine, she's gonna go ahead and send Freya Sycamore off into battle, because they need a commander, and somebody has to lead their battle. Somebody has to lead those women slash men. I feel like their armies are a mixture between men and women. Any able-bodied soldier, essentially, mostly is filled with women, but I feel like there is men in battle. But she needs someone to lead those women. She needs someone to lead those people in battles. And one of her high commanders have been gone. Well, not high commander. One of her commanders are gone. Zara was captured. Her other ones are out guarding castles and helping siege down armies. So the perfect opportunity is to send one of her new council member, Freya Sycamore, who is the Lady Stewardess, off into battle. We will be vacant for a little bit with the Lady Stewardess, but hopefully she will win in battle. So guys, right after the funeral, High Lady Nadine has called her family to court. Actually, they have been here for a while. They are here with their mother and her husband, of course, Lord Luca, who of course is a soneth by birth, who is now a Bennett by marriage. He is here with his wife, of course, at her command, because guys, she has invited over her 3 sons. Let me go ahead and introduce you to the boys. This is Figaro, the eldest. I think he's a pretty handsome boy. He looks a lot like his mother. I don't know if you could tell, but that is definitely Nadine's face there. Then this right here is Fenris. So this is a second born son. And then right here is little Frey. So these are her 3 sons here, born to High Lady Nadine and her husband Luca. Now you may be wondering, why are the Bennett boys here? The whole family, the whole clan, why are they here? The whole coven, why are they here? And the reason is because, as you guys can see, Queen Arwen is in this chamber with High Lady Nadine and her family, because she is coming here to talk to Nadine about some very important business. Nadine feels being romantically reserved is very important to her and seems to be spending more time on herself. Embrace the change. Romantically, sure. I feel like this is very much like Nadine. Like she doesn't seem like the very romantic wife, and she likes her space. I feel like this suits her. I do believe that she loves Luca, but she probably is very like to herself, which I feel like is very much in her nature. But yes, guys, she's called her family here after the funeral. After the funeral was done, guys, she got straight to business and politics. With the recent announcement that Moira the Pretender is pregnant with an angel, um, and the fact that they have killed Raylan Madaro, they have also lost another battle. Nadine is very much in fear, and she wants to consolidate power right away. Um, she knows that she's getting older, and that she sees her line is probably not going to succeed. She's probably been trying for years to try to have another kid. It has not been succeeding. And she only has three sons to her name. She knows that her line is going to die with her. And I feel like in Nadine's mind, she feels as if the best way to make sure that her line and her, well, I wouldn't say her line, but her bloodline succeeds, not her name, but her bloodline succeeds, to end her line off with a bang, essentially, to end her the Bennett name off with a bang. She wants to kind of combine the house of Bennett and Odina together by marrying her eldest son, Figaro here, guys, to Queen Arwen. And that is essentially what they are discussing right now. So, as we already know, in my rules and things of that matter, and how the influence points work, queens marriage is a thing within witch culture, but as in terms of politics, is not kindly looked upon within their queendom for a queen to get married. That's part of the reason why when Matthias proposed to the queen, she said yes at first, but then she changed her mind. She didn't want to do it because she felt like it would go against her claim. It would weaken her claim, actually. And knowing that her daughter was about to become queen and she had a child that did not look legitimate, she had to focus on her realm and make sure that she became more stable. Moira is not going to make the mistake of marrying, hopefully, I hope. But marriage is not a thing that commonly is practiced amongst the queens in this culture. It has become a tradition starting with Queen Orlin. And that's why they have harems. They have multiple consorts to ensure that they have many offspring of different genetic variety. It's just the way that they have you know basically created their laws in their queendom, to ensure that the queen is basically focusing more on her heirs instead of her actual, in hindsight, love is not meant for a queen, is what Orlin was thinking. She loved Matthias, but she couldn't. Being committed to him would have made Matthias come before her own country, which is the idea of why they don't tend to marry. But Nadine, and we already know that Nadine isn't into guys. She's very much a person who is into women. She's into other girls. She has a crush on Lady Marcella, a woman twice her age. But of course, that's her gay awakening. Marcella was her gay awakening. And she's just a young girl. She knows that she's not into guys. She's never really had that feeling towards them. This marriage, if it does happen, it will be strictly political, made to produce heirs and nothing more. But High Lady Nadine, she sees the opportunity here, and she's regent. She can make these decisions. She's trying to convince her niece now that this is the right option, that Figaro is the best decision ever for you. Like deep thoughts. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take this as a sign, guys. Nadine, she's trying to convince her niece here that Figaro is her. Either way, she's the regent. She can force this to happen if she wanted to. Arwen, well, she has to kind of get support from her council members, but Arwen doesn't really have a say so because she's under a regent. But it'll go smoother if Arwen does agree, because it'll make probably the other ladies on the council be more in agreement with Nadine's decision. But she's sitting here trying to convince her niece here to marry, of course, her son. She thinks it would be the perfect opportunity. She's probably trying to preach to her niece here, like in her own way, that marrying Figaro would give you my support, niece. In a way, Arwen feels safe with Nadine because she's the one kind of protecting her, but not realizing that she's also using her. I would say, like, I feel like she's very much conflicted because she cares about her aunt, but she knows that some of the things that her aunt is doing is not right, and she knows that her being usurped by her sister is not right. But I feel like she has comfort in her aunt. Losing her mother, Nadine has kind of become her mother figure. She's the closest woman to her that is related to her. That's more of a senior. She's an aunt. She's the sister to her father. So I feel like she's a child being coerced, manipulated by one of her family members. She's being manipulated by her aunt, coerced into doing her biddings. And as sad as that is, it when children are manipulated, they tend to listen to the person they're being manipulated by. And I feel like Nadine is promising her protection and basically unity within the queendom. Having Figaro at your side as prince consort would would open many doors for you. On my side as a mother seer, I am the religious head of this queendom. Imagine what your aunt can do for you with Figaro as your prince consort, with me as the future queen to your children, the future grandmother to your to the future queens of the children you may have with Figaro. And she's selling her niece all of these ideas, and I feel like Nadine wanting to be protected. Not Nadine, Arwen wanting to be protected, wanting to have that mother figure, losing her sister due to this war, this being her last resort. Her and I do feel like Nadine is very much Nadine. I feel like Arwen is very much depressed right now, and she's trying to like find anything to like kind of fix the situation. And I know she doesn't like him in a romantic way. She doesn't even see him in a sexual way, but she definitely is in the thought of, I need to do this in order for my own protection. My aunt thinks this will help us. And I feel like she's agreeing to this. She likes the deep conversations that she's having because she is agreeing to this. And I'm sure Luca here, the son to Lady Giselle, I always find this interesting that the Bennets before Giselle became basically a traitor, they the Sonnets were the most powerful family within the queendom at one point, which is why Lady Margaret married her daughter to Luca, because of course Luca at the time came from a very powerful family. He was very much kind of looked upon as a good suitor, and he still is a good suitor because he's been a dutiful husband to her. They have 3 beautiful sons, though they did not have any daughters, which is he's probably looked upon not in the greatest light. But it's obvious to me that Nadine does love her husband. She's just not the most affectionate woman, I don't think. They didn't have a bad marriage, I don't think. They just probably had like a little bit of hardships considering they had 3 sons, and she's coming to the reality that she probably will never have another child again, another daughter. She's getting older. She's losing her time to basically have more children. And the witches, they tend to not use magic to increase fertility. That's not so they believe it's unnatural. They believe that nature should take its course essentially. So I always find it interesting that Luca is married to Nadine, and the fact that he comes from a trader family, but he's kind of had to like distance himself from his sister. Basically, he hasn't talked to his sisters in years. He doesn't even have a relationship with his nieces and nephews from his sisters because he's kind of become a Bennett. Ever since his mother's execution, he's had to remove himself from his mother's family, and he's kind of in his life of being a Bennett. He's now officially a Bennett. They probably don't even speak about him being a Sonneth anymore, especially now that Jaleesa, his sister, is on the opposing side. So the sonnets are probably not looked at very kindly right now. Um, Especially by Nadine. She probably feels her husband's family is a failure, but she won't say that out loud to him because I feel like she does love him. They just probably never speak about their family, his family in their household when she was at the chapel. But she did bring all three of her sons, essentially, guys, because she wanted her daughter. She wanted her niece to like kind of see who she would like out of the three of them. She kind of had her sons lined up here, like, oh, hey, I have three sons, but of course the obvious pick would be Figaro, and Nadine probably wouldn't even care. Arwen probably wouldn't even care, considering our young queen here is not into boys; she's into girls. Are they flirting? Who is she flirting? I think she's flirting with Figaro, guys. They were flirting. Oh my god. Now I'm gonna take this as a sign that Figaro, because he's flirted with her. It said that she was being flirted with, guys. So I'm gonna take this as a sign that Figaro is like. I think that Figaro might like Arwen. Um, I feel like Figaro might like Arwen, and he probably thinks she's really pretty or whatever. And I don't think that she's not going to. I don't think that she's going to be like, oh no, I'm not going to flirt with you. I'm not into you. She's going to kind of be receptive towards it because her aunt is here and they just arranged a betrothal. So Queen Arwen, guys, is betrothed to her cousin Figaro. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen. So right now, High Lady Nadine has called a council meeting to be had in the queendom, well, in the council, in the castle. Oh, where is he getting up? Let me actually see why he's getting up. He's contemplating his life. Sit back down, please, sir. But oh my god, and then her familiar is getting on the table. Just so much going on. But right now, guys, High Lady Nadine has called a council meeting to basically further discuss the new betrothal that has happened with her son Figaro, Master Figaro, and Queen Arwen. So, the council is a little short right now because we're missing two council members. We're missing we're missing our Lady Stewardess and our Lady Alchemist. But of course we're at a war right now, so we can't really employ a Lady Alchemist. And our Lady Stewardess has went off into war, commanding the armies to tell us if we have won this battle today. So, right now, Nadine is telling the council here the big news that Nadine has decided to betroth Figaro to her niece, Queen Arwen. And Arwen has agreed to the terms, but the council is a little bit in shock right now, guys, especially her father, because he was not consulted with this matter at all. He was not told that his daughter was being betrothed off to his nephew. And the ladies, I fear, are thinking that their high lady here is grasping for too much power. And I feel like they're going to say that at this council meeting. I hope that he sits down because it's really irking my nerves. But I feel like, for one, I feel like the person with the most power right now would probably be Lady Luna at this council. And I feel like she would tell, essentially, she's going to discuss her fears with Lady Nadine here. And she's going to tell her, don't you think this is a bit much, Nadine? We are at war right now. And you're deciding to betroth your son to our queen. It's too much. It's too much going on. We need to focus on winning the war before we talk about nuptials. It's probably something that she would say. And I feel like Clarabella here, she would chime in and she would tell, essentially, the Mother Seer here that for you to be trying to get our queen married, you know our traditions. She must have a harem, not a husband of some sort. If she wants to get married, she should get married on her own. And I feel like Nadine would counter that argument, and she would say, well, my niece has agreed to this. She wants this. Don't you, Arwen? And I feel like Arwen, looking at the council, then her father, then Nadine, she would say, "Yes, I agree with my aunt that this is what I need. To I need to marry Figaro. It'll improve out my it'll improve my prestige, my luck, not my luck. It'll improve my influence, my status, and I'll have the help and protection of my aunt." And I feel like also Cyrus, he would also chime in, and he would say, "Why haven't you consulted me about this? I'm your father. I'm supposed to know before anyone does." And he would even tell Nadine, "As your brother-in-law, the prince, the Lord Father to my daughter, I deserve to know what you have been planning behind my back." Um, I don't think that he would have been upset with the idea of betrothing Figaro to Arwen, but for her to be making decisions like this behind his back, without his knowledge as the Lord Father to his daughter, I feel like it's kind of like a slap in his face to him, considering he is the father to his daughter. So Figaro is at this table, of course. He's probably a little bit quiet because he's not a politician. He is a child. He was a child made to one day marry someone. His life and goal was to one day become a concubine or marry. So he is not very much skilled in politics like Victor would be, maybe even Cyrus would be, because he's been in a harem for years. So he's probably heard the ins and outs of how politics go. So he's being a little quiet here, a little afraid to speak up because, of course, the council are a little bit shaky right now about this whole betrothal. But I feel like Nadine here, she would remind everyone that she's a regent and that Arwen is the queen, and whatever the regent and the queen says is going to go. And if the queen wants to marry Figaro, she's going to marry Figaro. So I feel like in that moment, the high ladies would kind of be silent. Persephone doesn't have much to say in this matter because I feel like either way she would agree with the mother Sarah. She is not skilled in court politics. She is a high commander. She is mostly here at the head of the Queen's Guard. She's here to serve the Queen's Guard. She is the Queen's Guard. She's the high commander. And she doesn't really know much about politics. She was just born a few years ago, made in this world. Well, in Nadine's words, she was just sent to the planet. She crash landed. So the whole point of me saying the whole point of me saying this, guys, is because Persephone doesn't know what's going on for real. Like, she's going to agree with Nadine either way. She's kind of like a minion. But the other ladies who have grown up in this kingdom have been taught politics by their mothers. I think even Clarabella, even Luna kind of grew up in court for a little bit. They know the ins and outs, and they see when somebody is grasping for power. They see it. Nadine even grew up in court a little bit. I remember that. She was in the moon homes for a little bit, the moon apartments. So yeah, I feel like the council is a little bit upset with the regent, probably looking at the spineless queen here, that she's just obeying everything that her aunt tells her. But I honestly do feel bad for Arwen, guys, because she lost her mother, she lost her sister, and on top of her losing her sister, she is in a place where she's kind of seeing Nadine as a mother. And though she could go to her father for these advices and stuff like that, he's a man at the end of the day. In their eyes, men, if it's not Moira, no one's asking their father for advice. Come on now, like these are women. They are smarter than men. This is what they would think. He's a man. He should sit back and watch. Thing. I kind of see Cyrus. He is he's so upset with his sister right now, guys. He's like, I cannot believe my sister went behind my back and did this without consulting me first. But I see him as a person supporting this matriarchy, but also putting himself down. I do see that. Like, he's kind of hurting himself. It's a sad thing. But his daughter, I fully believe, does not see him in the light that is like, I'm gonna ask my father for advice. Her father has talked to her many times, but from what I remember and past many movies and stuff of that matter, the times where Cyrus would try to convince his daughter to do certain things, Margaret would sweep in and essentially tell her granddaughter what to do, and Arwen would kind of concede. Um, and that kind of has been Cyrus's whole thing as a father. Like, he allows the women to make the decisions. And why would he think in a million years that even though he helped his daughter get on his throne, what made him think that he would have a say so in who she would marry? He's not the regent. He's just her father, the Lord Father. He's not even a prince. So these are he has power, but his power is very limited. He's not even a regent. He's just the father of the queen. Um, it's not like it's Victor who is the regent and is a prince on top of that, comes from a foreign power. He has power outside of this kingdom. He can get his father to come here and make some decisions and moves for him. Whereas Cyrus only has his kingdom. His power is through his daughter, but his daughter is seeking counsel and advice through her aunt instead of her father. She's looking at Nadine as a mother. So yeah, guys, the council, they are begrudgingly accepting this betrothal. They are looking at this as, because this is going to weaken her influence a little bit, because marriage does a toll on your influence if you're a queen. It increases your influence if you are a noble lady, but if you are a part of the royal family, it kind of decreases your influence by a little bit. So this is going to weaken Arwen's claim just a little bit to the throne by marrying Figaro. So Nadine grasping for power, claiming that Arwen is the rightful queen, and then trying to consolidate more power by marrying her son. Little does she know, she's kind of weakening her niece's claim. But she said what she said. She's the lady regent. Her niece is the queen, and they have decided on this matter. Figaro will one day become the prince consort to Queen Arwen. Whoa! I don't know what's going on with the dice, but it is looking wild. So let's go ahead and get the 10-sided die out. At least try to. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be putting. Oh, I think I got it now. Let me just. That was this is a doozy. Okay, so as I've said before, guys, I did change the numbers for our Sims and to see who's going to win the war. So if I can remember correctly, actually I have it written down so I don't forget. Let me just go to it so I don't have to be thinking about it. To keep you guys holding up. Moira has 1, 2, 5, 6, and 9 as her numbers, and Arwen has 3, 4, 7, 8, and 10. So guys, my heart is beating really really fast right now, because this is really the moment of truth for us to see whether or not if this war is going to be a tie or if Arwen is going to win it. Because if it's a tie, then we have one more roll to go to see whether or not who is going to actually win this war. So let's go ahead and do this, guys. 1, 2, 3. You guys! Oh my god! I'm so excited. Okay. That means, guys, Moira this is war is a tie. They are breaking it hard. They are really breaking it hard, which means we have one more roll to go. Next episode will be the episode we will know who will win this war officially. But our queen Moira has officially won this battle. Her numbers are 1, 2, 5, 6, and 9. So she did win this battle. But with that being said, we do in fact have to roll to see whether or not, Freya Sycamore will die in battle. If I can remember correctly, let me just go to the Google Doc to ensure that I am not messing up on any rules. whenever we are at war, and somebody is off at battle, the numbers 2, 8, and 16 will determine whether or not Freya Sycamore will die in battle. So hopefully our young angel will in fact survive, but we will have to see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it looks like she did survive. Thank the heavens. This is really good. I was so worried for her, but it looked like she did survive, which is good. So it was a unsuccessful battle, but at least Freya did survive. Okay, guys, so we're back, and the court has just gotten the news for Lady Freya fleeing with her life in army. Um, she has reported to Queen Arwen and, of course, the High Lady Regent here, the Mother Seer, Lady Nadine, that they have lost another battle. So everyone is probably panicking right now. This is basically the end of the road for them. Next episode, we will know whether or not who's going to lose this battle, this war, and yeah, it's the beginning of the end for either side. So Nadine is probably beating out her chest because if she loses this war, guys, we never really talk about what the implications would be if they won the war. But if Nadine loses this war, guys, she is going to be executed to the fullest extent. And I truly feel bad for Arwen. And I don't know what's gonna happen to her, but we will just have to see whether or not she survives, or if she will win this battle or not, or if she will, of course, be executed for treason. It's really going to be a sad day for either side, more so Moira's side. But Arwen, I feel like she's kind of come to the point where she's accepting her fate. And though she wants to survive, she's kind of just she's very depressed right now. And I feel like she's in a state of mind to where she is going to start just accepting the fact that she will die. I feel like that's exactly what she's thinking and how she probably feels, that this is the end of her life. And this is what she gets for basically listening to her aunt. This is not what the goddess wanted. So the court is in a very dark place right now. And I'm pretty sure Moira's court is in very much excitement and happiness. It's like the goddess is looking on Moira's side right now. She's pregnant with Zar's child. She's about to have a hybrid child that is half witch, half fairy, half angel, I should say. And everything that Nadine was saying about how the goddess isn't looking kindly upon him is kind of turning on her. You know, it's like the goddess is losing favor within her. And I'm pretty sure that is exactly what Nadine is thinking in this moment. But anyway, guys, my name is Ronald the Simmer, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.